I was just a wreck of a person. I snapped so easily, like a lion, screaming, and everything was triggering me, everything. And I didn't know what to do, and I was just like, I felt so down. I want to have better life. I want to have better relationships. And I don't want my daughters in 10 years talking about her mom. Like her mom is weirdo and crazy and I don't like their mom. It was basically my childhood, and my inner child was struggling because of not had enough love. The oldest one, she came to me and she said, "Mommy, you don't shout as much." And that was the biggest win ever for me.
Hi, and welcome to the Zen Supermom podcast. In this episode, I'm going to talk with Martina, a mom of 3 kids, expatriate family, so no support network around, a lot of stress, a lot of pressure. And of course, she's here because she had the problems that you might be familiar with. She was shouting, snapping, yelling at her kids, even for little to no reasons. She was saying my patience was below 0. So what is it that she did differently? How come none of the parenting techniques she tried that didn't help her for longer than 2 days? How come she was struggling if even when you heard me talk about maybe some childhood trauma before in some previous episodes, how come she was struggling with uncontrollable anger when she had an amazing childhood? She had a very happy childhood, just like me. So what was it outside of her or inside of her that was triggering this anger, and she couldn't stop it even though she felt so guilty about it? And what is it that she did that makes her shine now? Because if you will see, especially if you're watching the YouTube video version of this podcast episode, you will see her literally radiating happiness. And she's even making fun of it herself by saying, well, I'm not on drugs, even though it might look like I'm just happy for no reason because I'm finally feeling free for the first time ever in my life. So what did we do with her? How come she's not only not yelling at her kids, having better relationship with her husband, but also being able to stay around her mom, now being on holidays at her mom's place for 3.5 weeks? She's not snapping at her mom, having fights with her. How did she do it? Well, come and see and let's hear it from herself. Meet Martina. Hi, Martina. Thank you so much for coming on the Zen Supermom podcast.
Hi, Alana. How are you?
Great. And I was really looking forward to talking to you today because after we had your final consultation, when was it? Last week, right?
Last week, yeah.
Yeah, there were so many wins. I didn't even manage to write everything down. That's why I invited you. Oh my goodness, there are so many moms who need to hear your story. So let's start there maybe at the beginning. Can you explain why you decided that you will have so much courage to not only share your story, but even share it with your face on the camera, with your name there for everybody to see? How come you're so brave? What is so important about that? What do you want to share?
Well, that's not about me being brave. I think at the first instance, I didn't want to do it. I mean, I didn't want my face to be seen. And then I was like, but you can do it. Why would you cover your face? Everybody can see you. There's nothing wrong with you. Just do it. So then I decided to do it. Yeah, I was thinking about it, but it's fine. And I would like to share with other moms and possibly with other dads how better they can become, and yeah, better people, better parents.
Very good. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you in advance because indeed we've done almost 30 stories sharings now and we know how powerful it is. So thank you so much for joining the forces and rippling the effect. So let's start at the beginning because what we see now, everybody can see it, this shiny, smiling woman. So what could have been wrong? Let's start at the beginning. You're a mom of how many kids? How old? If you want to share whatever level of detail. And most likely, where were you when we met? Why were you looking for help?
Well, yeah, I'm mom of 3, 10, 9, and 5. And actually, when we met, I was just a wreck of a person. I was so bad. I felt like I was bad mom because I was shouting, but I was yelling. That was crazy. And yeah, I didn't feel good because I snapped so easily. whatever, when that it didn't even have to be anything specific. It was just something, and I just snapped. And
Yeah.
I yeah, da. It could have been, I don't know, just a tiny something on the floor, and like, wow, like a lion screaming, and yeah, crazy,
Yeah.
crazy.
Why was it important for you to get help? Like, were you first looking for parenting techniques, or like, what did you try, if anything, before we met?
Yeah, I've tried parenting techniques, which that seemed to be fine, and I was like, yeah, that's easy, I can do it, and I did it for a day, 2 days maybe, and then it was like, wow, no. And specifically when the youngest one was born, with two of them, it was sort of easy, but with three of them, it became like 10 million times harder. And I wasn't sure what I was doing, and I was stressed, and they felt my stress, and they didn't listen. They were just triggering, everything was triggering me, everything. And I didn't know what to do. And I was just like, I felt so down. And I thought, what am I going to do? And then I saw your something on, I don't know, I think it was on Facebook, whatever. I was like, okay, well, I started with listening your podcasts, and I was, yeah, I know that. Okay, yeah, that's what I've had before. That's fine. Yeah, it's nothing new. Why should I do that? No, that's fine. And I was still listening and listening. I was like, okay, yeah. And then I don't know what happened. It was maybe a year ago. Everything went so wrong. Everything. That was everything. And I felt like, I don't know, I felt like maybe it was a depression or something, but it wasn't. It was just my saboteurs and everybody talking, and everything was talking and talking and talking, and I wasn't able to concentrate. Yeah, my head was just going and going, and I felt crazy. And I was like, wow, maybe I could try. So I got in touch, and I felt, well, let's see. And then I will see what can happen. And yeah, and then I decided, I was like, yeah, I have to do something. And I decided to start a program.
Oh my goodness. But let me unpack like all of this wonderful sharing. Because
Sorry.
first of all, isn't she a super mom? She just says, as a matter of fact, 2 kids, it was fine. Only when the third came, I started going crazy. Like, what? I have only one, and I was going crazy when she was 1 year old. So, first of all, well done, super mom. So, if there's anybody there listening, like, oh my goodness, I'm struggling even just with one. And here she keeps saying about, okay, I had two, and it was fine. Like, what? So, no judgment. Don't compare yourself to anybody, please. If you need anybody to compare yourself to, take me as a bad example. I was yelling at my 1 year old, and I had only one kid. So, first of all, amazing that you actually held it together for so long. And then the next point, when you mentioned about the, I know it, and I already heard that, and of course it makes sense, nothing new. This is so common. This is so good. That's why I started laughing when you were saying that. I feel like this is the curse of everybody, and especially now with internet full of parenting stuff and full of like therapy stuff, and everybody's so smart and everybody already knows everything. It actually needs to come to the point, exactly as you're describing. It doesn't matter how much, and I hear it so often. So many smart moms come to me and they're like, I read all the books, I did 15 years of therapy. You're not telling me anything new. And then I'm like, okay, I have nothing but compassion for you. And also, then if you know everything already, then why is your life not looking that way? Like, why are you still struggling then? Because indeed, it's not just about knowing. It's like, do you have the tools to actually change it? So thank you so much for bringing that up. This is very common, and I love it that, yeah, unfortunately, it had to get worse for you to recognize it's not a DIY, it's not about knowing it all, but like, I need help in actually now making it happen. So,
Fall to the bottom of everything. And then I had problems with my husband. I had problems with my kids because everything was crumbling. And I felt, shit, this is not what I want. I want to have better life. I want to have better relationships. And I don't want my daughters in 10 years talking about her mom. like her mom is weirdo and crazy, and I don't like their mom
Yeah.
because I love them to bits. My heart is just for them, but something was like pulling me back, and I wasn't able to control my anger.
And this is where I want to go next. So, this is usually the problem why so many moms are struggling, because they know they should not be angry. They know, okay, they should be patient and gentle parenting and attachment parenting and everything and da da da. But where was that anger coming from for you? Because that's the reason why we cannot control, because it has
It
nothing
was
to do with
coming
you.
from the environment around me. It was me, but everything around me made me like bad, made me worse, and made me like a biting dog. Yeah.
Yeah. But how come that now, even the environment stay the same, the stress outside is the same, you're not struggling in the same way as you did? So what was it in you? Because indeed, like everything outside triggers, but it triggers the thing that's in you. So that's why, and share to the level where you're comfortable sharing, but where was the root of your uncontrollable anger?
It was basically my childhood, and my inner child was struggling because of not had enough love when I was a child. Had some, I don't know, feeling like everybody was better than me, and it just adds up. And then you get to the level when you just can't handle it, and you either have to do something about it, or you just ruin everything,
Yeah.
or, or your state ruins all your relationships,
Yep.
which I didn't want to.
Exactly. And so this is exactly the case like what I had. Happy childhood. I had nothing to blame my parents for, but I grew up not feeling good enough.
I was the same. I can't remember. And when I started going back to my childhood, and actually this program brought some memories I thought I didn't have and I forgot. It brought everything, and I was like, oh wow, this is crazy. But then when I think about it overall, my childhood was good. It was perfect. My mom looked after us, and there were no problems. And I didn't grow up being a strong, happy person. I was just unhappy, ugly person for no, but it was for no reason.
And that's exactly the definition or one of the aspects of generational developmental childhood trauma. It's not about what happened to you, that some shock, abuse, or violence happened. It's about what did not happen. Not enough of unconditional love, not enough of healthy role models on how to deal with stress and pressure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, my mom wasn't a good model how to handle the stress.
Not throwing her under the bus. She did the best with
But
she could, but
good at the time. And she
yeah.
didn't have the knowledge, and there was not enough information in the past. But yeah, I don't want my kids to suffer and go through all I'm going to go through. And yeah, so I just want to stop it for my kids to have better life, and also for myself. It's not for them, but it's also for me, because I don't want to suffer and struggle and be just nasty, angry,
Yeah.
yelling something.
Perfect. That's so good, Martina. Now, how was that process for you? Because you were saying like, "Oh my goodness, it brought up some memories I didn't even know I had." So, what was it that you I'm going to ask in general. So, how was that process for you? Good or bad or ugly, like whatever parts of that like your healing journey you want to share?
It was good actually. First bit was like first few days, maybe a week. I felt overwhelmed, and I felt so much joy, and I was so positive. And then it started going again, and I was like, I dropped again, and I was like, oh, wow, this is not working. What did I do? Oh my goodness, this is not going to work. I just put myself in something which is not going to work. And I was like, no, just keep going, and we will see. You have 3 months, basically 4 months to finish. You will see. If it's not working, then it's not working, and there is no help for you. That's it. You will have to just carry on. And then I was like, okay, I was going and going, and I was doing my practice and everything. And then suddenly, one morning, I woke up and I felt so happy for no reason. I was happy. I was like, oh, wow, what a feeling. I love it. And then it was just going to get better and better. And I kept myself positive, and I was thinking, yes, you have to do it. You've done it. and you can do even better.
How great is that?
It wasn't tough, but it was hard because you live in a program. You have a program in your head, and it's so hard to disconnect from this program.
That's why it's a practice. That's why no overnight like hypnotherapy, just close your eyes. I will do some 1 hour magic on you and you'll wake up and be happy. Like that doesn't work. I'm sorry. Sorry, anybody. Not saying hypnotherapy doesn't work, but that's more for the shock trauma or for phobias. But it's not going to help you heal your childhood, especially if you had a happy childhood like me and Martina. Like, what do you want to heal? It was amazing. Well, yes, and also it's a practice. We need to rewire exactly as you're saying, like in your brain, in your head, all those stories, all the blah, blah, blah that makes you feel not good enough, not seen, not heard, not listened to, not respected, not taken care of, not worthy of being loved the way you are, that you have to change and constantly like try to do better or more or faster or perfection. No, so that's why it's a process. So well done for not giving up on yourself, continuing the process until one day, like it all clicked into place. Well done. Why is it good for, and I don't want to like lead this question for you, but it is true that I see in many moms why they love it, not only to help themselves, like to become that healthy, emotionally healthy person for you, but then also for your kids because they are growing up. Like, do you see any impact on your kids? Do you feel like differently now as a parent, helping them sort out their lives as they're growing up?
Yeah, it's still not 100%, and it will never be 100%, but it's much better than it was. And even the oldest one, she came to me and she said, "Mommy, you don't shout as much." And that was the biggest win ever for me. When they said that, I was, yeah. You don't want much, you don't need much, but when your child recognizes the change, that's worthy.
So good. So good. And I also noted down there was one huge win with your own mom because now you're on holidays. Do you want to share a little bit? Or is this
Yeah.
like
No, it's fine. We can share. Yeah, just a long story short, we've been here for 3 weeks already. There was no single argument
with your mom?
with my mom, and it had never happened before. It was usually a few days, and one of us just snapped because the other one did something what the other one didn't expect or didn't want, or she said something and there was a fight. But now, fingers crossed, 2 weeks to go, but there was nothing. So I think we
Amazing.
will do all the 5 weeks without any fight or anything. Not even saying things like she used to say, or anything about my parenting, or nothing, just how it should be.
Amazing. This is so good. And I really wanted to mention this one because there are so many moms who are coming to me and asking, like, of course, the first line of priority is I want to stop yelling at my kids. Then there's usually the relationship to clean up, like their intimate relationship. And then eventually many of them mention, like, I would like to clean up the relationship with my own mom or parents in general. And I tell them for this, I really don't guarantee any timeline because for some people it comes after 6 months, for some people after 12 months, they are ready to like grieve the childhood they didn't have and like forgive, don't have to forget, but forgive them for not being perfect. But this is exactly like this is amazing after 4 months and you're already there with your mom.
I mean, it's not all pink and nice and bloomy. No, no, no. It's tough, but I don't snap, and I can still hear my voices before, but I'm like, no, just stop. That's how she is. This is fine, and we are going again. We are carrying on. There is nothing, no hustle, no battling or anything.
That's it. And that's how healing looks like. You will
Yeah,
still feel the pull to the old pattern, the old
yeah,
habit, the dynamic of the relationship.
of
But you
course.
have now the space to choose to catch it before you say something or react. You have the time to pause and choose a different reaction. And that's exactly how healing looks like. Fantastic. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my goodness. So what is the thing when you look back for the last 4 months? What is the one single thing that if you could pick, which one is the best that you're the most proud of that you did for yourself, that you were able to accomplish? That at the beginning maybe you would have thought like, no, Alena, too good to be true. You're lying. Like you're just such a good salesperson, but this is not
Yeah.
possible. Get out of here. What would it be?
What it would be? I think that I'm a calm person and I can handle stress much better than I did in the past. I was like shaking and what am I going to do? And creating like catastrophic scenarios. But now this is what it is. You can either take it or you can just go away and step out of it. And yeah, it's how I make it, it's about how I make it for myself. If I'm going to stress about things, that it's not going to make anything better. I have a choice now, but I didn't see that choice before. I thought I didn't have a choice and I had to repeat all the pattern again and again. And it just builds up. And then, yeah, I got to the point when I couldn't handle it anymore.
And now you have a choice.
Now it feels like everything is nice, bright, happy. Yeah, I don't know. Somebody would think I'm on drugs, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm so happy. I'm so happy I joined the program because it changed my life. Literally, it changed my life. Yeah. There is still a huge amount of work I need to do, but the first step I did, and yeah, it's working, and it works, and it will work. And I know what to do. This is good thing because I know what to do when something's happening. I know what to do. I guess I still get angry, but it lasts seconds. It doesn't last hours or days like before. I even forget about it. I don't remember that I got actually angry or something because I'm like, oh well, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. And now you have the tools. So you don't need any more sessions. You don't need any more support. You will go by yourself and you will continue using the tools because now you know you can. It's a new habit in your mind and you will just keep practicing. And
Yeah.
oh my goodness, so happy for you. Thank you so much for sharing. And we can see you shining. And it's not just the beautiful bright wall behind you, but like you are radiating energy. And this is fantastic indeed. This is the best kind of drug, quote to quote, that you can create within yourself now. You don't need any crutches. This is also something that comes up a lot. There are lots of moms who meet me who are on anti-anxiety, antidepressants, who are drinking too much alcohol, smoking weed just so that they can like calm down. You can do it for yourself. How amazing is that? No pills needed, right? This is the healthiest.
Yeah, that's good.
Exactly. And by you being able to do that for yourself, then you are able to, you're the role model for your kids so that they have the best chance of going through their life without needing any of these external crutches to make themselves feel good. So, congratulations. You broke the generational curse for you and for your 3 kids. So, maybe last question. When you look back at the you like 4 months ago when she was like, am I going to do this step or am I going to take it or not? Like, what would be your message for her for the like 4 months ago, Martina?
I would say that she had that power within, but she had to find it to ask for help because she was afraid even to ask and to admit that she has a problem.
So she was actually strong. She didn't even know how much.
I mean, she was strong, but because of all the rubbish, she couldn't find it.
Yeah.
But she found that strength and she did it, and yeah, she's doing well now.
And here you are today.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Martina. Thank you so much for sharing. Is there anything else you felt like any story or anything you wanted to share that I didn't ask you about?
I don't think so. I'm so proud of myself. It feels there's so much difference. I can't even describe it, but I'm speechless.
Thank you so much. It was perfect. Thank you so much for being so brave to share your story so that it can inspire some moms who are like where you were 4 months ago. So thank you for your courage, even to go on camera with your name. This really speaks volumes about how much
Yeah.
you healed.
This is something I would never done before. I would be like, no, I can't do it. No. But
Yeah.
now, yeah, we have that strength. We can do anything we want.
That's the best proof. Thank you so much, Martina. Stay in touch. We will be in touch. You will continue your practice. You will keep me posted, and we so that we can also keep anybody who's interested in following your story. We can keep them posted about how it's continuing perfectly imperfect. And thank you so much for like spreading this healing ripple effect, because there's so many moms like you who are feeling, I had a happy childhood and it's just my kids who are out of control, and it's just because I'm a mom of 3 and I have busy life, so of course I'm yelling. It's like, nope, maybe there's more going on. So thank you for being the example.
That's true. Yeah. Thank you so much, Alana.
Yep.
I'm
to
done
see
for me.
you. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry, what did you want to say?
I said thank you so much for everything you've done, because you've done a great job.
It's you who did it. We are here to help anybody who's a good fit, but it's you who decided, and especially like when you mentioned after that first week when you were like, how am I going to do it? This is not working. It's you who picked yourself up. So well done for finding that strength in you. The method works for those who are ready to do the work, and you did it.
Yeah, that's true.
Celebrate yourself.
I will. And I am. I'm still celebrating.
Excellent. Thank you, Martina. And see you the next time, everybody.
Bye-bye.